In the stillness of night, when the world quiets and only the echoes of our thoughts remain, a question lingers: how do we tame the relentless torrent within our minds? We all wrestle with the chaos that swirls in our heads, a storm of emotions, fears, and desires. Yet there is a way to rise above this turmoil, a way to master the mind and with it, our very lives. We must understand that the mind is both our greatest ally and our most formidable adversary. It has the power to elevate us to heights unimaginable or to drag us into the darkest abysses. The choice, however, lies within our grasp. To control the mind is to control everything, for it is the mind that shapes our reality, that interprets the world around us, and that decides how we respond to every challenge, every joy, every sorrow. The ancients knew this well. They spoke of a discipline, a philosophy that teaches us to govern the mind, to become its master rather than its slave. This discipline is not about suppression, but about transformation. It is about recognizing the nature of our thoughts and emotions, understanding their fleeting nature, and choosing which ones to cultivate and which ones to let go. Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them, wrote Epictetus. His words remind us that the mind is the lens through which we perceive the world, and it is within our power to adjust that lens, to change our perspective, and in doing so, change our lives. The first step in controlling the mind is to acknowledge that external events hold no power over us. It is not the events themselves, but our judgments of them that cause us distress. But how do we change these judgments? How do we seize control of our thoughts before they spiral into anxiety, anger, or despair? The answer lies in practice, in relentless self-examination and discipline. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, Marcus Aurelius urged. His wisdom teaches us that strength is found not in resisting the world, but in mastering our inner responses to it. To control the mind, we must first silence the noise that drowns out our true selves. This means confronting the thoughts that arise unbidden, the worries that cling to us like shadows, and the fears that gnaw at our peace. It means stepping back, observing these intrusions without judgment, and then, with clarity and calm, deciding their worth. Are they rooted in reality, or are they the echoes of past fears, of future uncertainties? If they are not grounded in the present moment, we must let them pass, like clouds drifting across the sky. Seneca, another great philosopher, once said, "He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary." His insight speaks to the power of anticipation, of the mind's tendency to dwell in the future, conjuring scenarios that may never come to pass. To control the mind is to anchor it in the present, to focus on what is within our control, and to release all else. This is not a denial of reality, but a profound acceptance of it, a recognition that the only reality is the here and now. In mastering our minds, we must also cultivate inner stillness, a fortress of calm amidst the chaos. This stillness is not the absence of thought, but the presence of clarity, a state where the mind is undisturbed by the noise of the world. It is in this stillness that we find our true power, for it is only when the mind is calm that we can see clearly, think clearly, and act wisely. Be like a rock, Epictetus advised, against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. This is the essence of mental control: steadfastness, resilience, and unwavering strength. The mind, like a rock, must stand firm against the waves of emotion and thought that crash against it. It must not be moved by fleeting feelings or transient worries, but must remain rooted in reason, in wisdom. We who seek to control our minds must remember that this journey is not one of perfection, but of progress. It is not about never feeling fear, anger, or sadness, but about not being ruled by them. It is about recognizing these emotions, understanding their source, and then choosing how we respond. This is the true power of the mind, the ability to choose, to act with intention rather than react with impulse. In the end, the control of the mind is the control of the self. It is the mastery of our thoughts, our emotions, our very being. And in this mastery, we find freedom from the chains of destructive emotions, from the tyranny of our own minds. This is the path of those who seek true wisdom, true strength, and true peace. It is the path of those who dare to act like nothing disturbs them anymore, because they have learned the secret of controlling their minds. Let us walk this path together, with unwavering resolve and inner fortitude. Let us strive to become masters of our minds, for in doing so, we become masters of our fate. Before we conclude, if you found value in this journey toward mastering your mind, I invite you to join our community by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Here we delve deep into the wisdom of the ages, exploring powerful insights that can transform your life, one thought at a time. By subscribing, you're not just clicking a button, you're committing to a path of growth, resilience, and self-mastery. Together, we can continue to unlock the secrets of the mind and embrace the strength that lies within each of us. So, if you're ready to take the next step on this journey, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's walk this path together. So let's explain more with keys. First one, let go of what others think. The first lesson is to let go of what others think. We often tie our self-worth to the opinions of others, allowing their judgments to dictate our happiness. But a mind enslaved by the thoughts of others can never be free. Epictetus reminds us man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them. If we can release the need for external validation, we free ourselves from a prison of our own making. The opinions of others are not our reality, they are mere reflections of their own minds, not ours. Cultivate emotional resilience. Next, we must cultivate emotional resilience. Life will test us with challenges and setbacks, but it is not the events themselves that disturb us, it is our reaction to them. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Emotional resilience is not about suppressing feelings, but about understanding them, allowing them to pass, and choosing how we respond. It is about building a fortress within, a place of calm that remains untouched by the storms outside. Use the power of perception. Our perception shapes our reality. We must harness the power of perception, recognizing that our thoughts create the lens through which we view the world. By changing our perspective, we can change our experience. Seneca taught, "He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary." By anticipating troubles that may never come, we bring unnecessary suffering upon ourselves. Instead, we must train our minds to see the world as it is, not as we fear it to be. Live according to nature. To control the mind, we must also live according to nature. This means aligning our lives with the natural order of the world, accepting what is beyond our control, and focusing on what we can influence. Nature is a teacher, and if we live in harmony with its laws, we find peace. Nothing happens to anyone that he is not fitted by nature to bear, Marcus Aurelius reminds us. By embracing our place in the universe, we find the strength to endure whatever life may bring. Practice self-discipline. Self-discipline is the key to mastery. It is the practice of governing our impulses, of choosing long-term gain over short-term pleasure. "No man is free who is not master of himself," wrote Epictetus. Through discipline, we gain control over our desires, our fears, and our thoughts. It is the daily practice of saying no to distractions, of choosing purpose over pleasure, that builds the strength of mind we seek. Embrace the present moment. We must embrace the present moment, for it is the only reality we have. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain, but the present is where life happens. Seneca advised, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." By focusing on the now, we free ourselves from the regrets of the past and the anxieties of the future. The present moment is our sanctuary, a place where we can find peace and purpose. Build or join a community. No one walks this path alone. We are social beings, and the strength of our minds is often reflected in the strength of our relationships. Building or joining a community of like-minded individuals provides support, wisdom, and accountability. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe's change our life is what our thoughts make it in the company of others who share our values. We find the encouragement to stay the course, to continue our journey toward mastery." Focus on what you can control. The essence of mental control lies in focusing on what you can control. We cannot change the world, but we can change our responses to it. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, Seneca wisely observed. By directing our energy toward what is within our power, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we take control of our destiny. We must learn to release the rest, to let go of what lies beyond our grasp, for in this release, we find true freedom. Practice daily gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool in mastering the mind. By practicing daily gratitude, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, Epictetus reminds us. Gratitude transforms the mind, allowing us to see the abundance in our lives, to appreciate the simple joys, and to cultivate a sense of contentment that is unshakable by external events. Face and accept fear. Finally, we must face and accept fear. Fear is a natural part of life, but it does not have to control us. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have, warned Epictetus. To overcome fear, we must confront it head-on, understanding its roots and seeing it for what it truly is, a product of our own minds. By accepting fear, we rob it of its power and gain the courage to move forward, unburdened by the weight of what might be. In the end, the control of the mind is the control of the self. It is the mastery of our thoughts, our emotions, our very being. And in this mastery, we find freedom from the chains of destructive emotions, from the tyranny of our own minds. This is the path of those who seek true wisdom, true strength, and true peace. It is the path of those who dare to act like nothing disturbs them anymore, because they have learned the secret of controlling their minds. Let us walk this path together with unwavering resolve and inner fortitude. Let us strive to become masters of our minds, for in doing so, we become masters of our fate.